Yeah, very similar to kind of what I've seen in the past. This is a guy that doesn't really give in, uses a sinker ball, really is the featured pitch. Um, Pitches on the edges, has a lot of movement on all of his pitches. 50% strikes is not really, how you draw it up. But I think anytime you have the life that he does on the fastball, and he can land the curveball for a strike when he needs to. He can get the ball on the ground. I think it was 10 ground ball outs, 2 of which were double play balls, which really got him out of some situations. And so very similar, competes. All the things that we'd heard about, what we'd seen in the past, showed up today and really gave him an opportunity to allow our offense to do some things for him.
I know you don't have a crystal ball, but you get the sense your club has gotten through its toughest month of the year, is righted the ship, and everything is going in the right direction again?
Well, Jerry, I think more than anything else, what we saw this weekend is that when we get quality starts and we get starters that go into the 6th inning and beyond, we have an opportunity to utilize our bullpen the way we feel we need to. We can line some guys up to be able to pitch in key situations. We can get guys rest that need an opportunity to have rest. And look, these guys, the offensive performance has it's been steady. And when these guys go out and give us a great tempo, our defense plays well behind them, and they make plays, they stay engaged, they stay focused, they're on top of their defensive game. And so as far as, challenging month, yes, it was a challenging month. It was a challenging month in a number of ways. Now, obviously, putting 4 wins together against I still believe is a tough ball club. They're down some players, but still a tough ball club. I think it gives our guys some momentum going into the off day. We can rest up and travel to Baltimore, and look, we don't mark the calendar by the end of the month. We continue to. The calendar may change, but it's still the game of baseball, and so it doesn't. We're not going to try to play any differently in August than we did any other. We're just going to continue to try to play well, show up, play hard-nosed baseball, and get some of those quality starts and move forward.
What else?
I'm no weatherman, but do you think that with the advent of this real hot weather, it's having some effect on the ball carry?
Well, the ball carries much better when it's a lot warmer than it does when it's cooler or cold. It's our ballpark. The wind does blow. The part of the summer when it does heat up, the ball does fly better. Yes.
Now, I understand the scouting report on Harold, but I mean, when you talk about the weather, and it's 98 degrees and first start for a team and going to a first place team, and that's a pretty gritty performance for him beyond just the.
Yes, it is. It doesn't really know a whole lot. I think really the only person he knew over here was Roquel. So so come into this type of situation. I think the first night he was here, after the first inning, we scored a number of runs, and he jumped down off the rail and came over to Roquel and asked him, is it like this every night? So he was like a new kid on a new team and had some energy, and but it was a gritty performance by him. But now, those are all the things that that I've seen from him in the past. He grits it out. He's a grinder, and he goes out there and competes, and that's what we were looking for. That's what we need in kind of in that spot to allow us to allow our offense to get in the dugout and put some runs on the board.
Levi?
Beyond just the tough month that you guys have gone through, it feels like the bullpen and Mitch Moreland both in the last week or two have really done what you expected of them all year. This is kind of what we had hoped for from the very beginning. Does this seem like the new normal, or is it another one of the ebbs and flows?
Well, let's take it as the new normal. That's what we'll go to. It's It's a fair assessment, a fair question. And I'll go back to the point of when our starters, they give us the length, they give us an opportunity to get to the guys in the bullpen that we've lined up to be able to pitch any given day. When they're fresh, we know what they're capable of, and we see it on those nights and those days that they've had their rest, and and they are fresh, and they can go out and really pitch and execute. As far as Mitch is concerned, we know that Mitch is capable of these type of runs and putting together some extraordinary type offense, and we know the power, we know the hitability. We saw, look, today it was, I like the at-bat off the left-hander as much as I like the home runs, because that means he's staying on the ball, staying through the baseball, and staying on his legs.
Good, Jerry?
So you're able to get a win with 3 regulars off their feet. I know a win's a win, but does that add any bonus or any little icing to a win to do that?
Sure it does, and it was, listen, don't forget that Alberto, the third baseman today, coming up with a huge hit for us, and the guy's been sitting over there that really kind of the heart and soul and energy maker at the end of the bench, and he showed up huge for us today. And it's any time that we can get those guys off their legs and freshen them up for a couple days, it's big.